Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. I'm gonna tell you the easiest personal loans you can get, all the way up to $100,000. Now, three of these here loans, they do not even pursue you. If you don't pay it back, they're not gonna sue you. Okay? And that's real. If you do not pay them back, they're not going to sue you. So I'm going to tell you what those lenders are. All right. First, understanding that when you're trying to get a personal loan, you have to show proof that you have income. Okay. If you don't have income, you have to have other assets that they can work against. Now, that being said, let's talk about how to get the easiest personal loan, starting with cash advance. All right. Now, here's the interesting thing with your cash advance, they usually go from anywhere from 100 up to 1,000 maximum. And so the maximum you can get with Abbott as well as earning is $1,000. However, I just told you that one of these will not sue you or go out to debt collection. That's Abbott. They have it on their website. If you do not pay back this loan, we're not going to send collection agencies after you. That's on their website, okay? And again, like they'll offer you up to $1,000. The thing about it, they have to verify the banking information, okay? So the thing about it with Abbott, they charge anywhere from $14.99 up to $39.95 on a monthly fee. But at the same time, if you do not pay back the money, they're not going to send a debt collector after you. All right. Now, for some, that may be a relief. So for others, it may bother you because you're like, well, what if I need the money again? If you burn them, then you don't have nowhere else to go. All right. So that's the reason why I'm putting them out there. And like I said, it's three of them. So bear with me. The next place you want to go is your direct tribal lenders. OK, these are your easy personal loans. And the reason is because they don't have all that red tape. OK, and so where most lenders and stuff, they're federal regulated, right? With tribal lenders, they don't have the same federal guidelines. That's the reason why they charge as much as they do. Now, in terms of direct tribal lenders, you have Explore Credit. They go up to $2,000. Then you have Max Personal Loans. They use tribal lenders. They go up to $50,000. Okay. Now, just remember with tribal loans, they're not in all 50 states as well. Okay. So that's something you have to consider. Then you have like Credit Cube and Credit Cash that go up to $5,000 also. All right. Now, again, the reason they're so easy to get is because they're not focused on the credit score. They're focused on the information on the application. So they use the third-party credit bureaus like Clarity, DataX, Factor Trust, Teletrack. Okay, so they use those to verify your information. Now, again, I tell you, if the information on the application, like the address, is outdated and they check with the third-party credit bureau, this would be a primary reason that they deny you. All right. Now, you do have to have an active checking account. Now, one other thing about it, I always tell you, is that you have to make sure you also have a chime. All right. So chime is very important. Excuse me. You have to check with them to see if they accept chime. Excuse me. All right. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. And I'll tell you why I'm distracted. In my community, I help teenage boys and stuff like that. I give them money and stuff for cleaning my property and stuff off, right? And so one of the guys, he's slow, okay? I'm not using the proper term, but he's slow. All right. And so and I always try to make sure that he comes through the neighborhood. I always try to make sure I have some type of work for him and stuff. So recently I paid him and his friends to do some work. But this morning when I seen him, it was just strange because he seemed like, if you ever seen somebody like vibing, if they're high and they very low coherent and stuff like that, this is how he was. He was just out of it. and I'm trying to talk to him. I'm asking him, hey, did you talk with your mother? Because I was, he told me that he needed a bed, and we're refurnishing our house. And I said, well, I'll give you a bed, just reach out to your mom. But this guy, and I feel sorry for him because he's only 21, but he was vibing so bad that I had to shut the conversation off because he was just out of it. And I'm going to tell you guys, please check. If you have young ones, check on your kids. All right. I know I'm talking about loans and stuff like that, but that's something that really bothered me, because to see a young man like that, that's just high. Okay. He's trying to convince me he's not smoking nothing and whatever, but I'm no fool. I've been in this game a long time. And it's sad because, like I said, I keep telling people you have to really check on your kids and stuff like that. That being said, let me get back to these loans. Now, one of the places, another place that I was telling you, because I told you there's 3 places that will not sue you. Did you know if you take out a margin loan, against your stock portfolio and you do not pay it back, they're not going to sue you. That's right. They're not going to sue you. What they do is they would have you to possibly liquidate the portfolio, but they won't sue you. And the loan is so easy to get because they don't care what your credit score is. This is why I keep telling you, the rich, they always have backup secret because they buy assets. And those assets is what they use to be able to get access to more capital regardless of credit. That's the reason they don't worry about credit and stuff like that. So that's another one that I wanted to tell you. Now, talking about platforms, right? So when you're looking at platforms, when you have bad credit and you're looking to get a loan and stuff like that, the platforms that you're looking at is like, like green dollar loan, all right? And a platform like that is because the interest rates is like 5.99 up to 35.99. But the better part about it is that, like, if you're on government assistance, if you're self-employed and stuff, they still will approve you up to $5,000. Again, just being able to show proof that you have active income coming into your checking account. All right. So that's another one. Now, you have, for those of you that are working and you want an interest-free loan with no credit check, the best place for you to do is go to your HR and file that W-4 exempt. Because with that W-4 exempt, you don't have to have perfect credit, okay? All you have to do is file exempt, all right? Now, here's the interesting thing. They're starting to do a revolt about filing taxes, and the reason is because of this war in Iran. And so a lot of people, they're encouraging people to go file tax exempt so you can stop paying taxes. I always tell people to do it for 3 or 4 months anyway. But they're serious about not paying taxes because people are sick of their tax dollars going any and everywhere. We don't have no control of it. And when we need help, then the government said they can't help us, but they continue taking our taxes, right? And I'm not trying to make this a political video. I'm just saying these are the concerns of what people are going through. So in terms of leveraging up, don't feel bad for going to your HR and filing a tax exempt, okay? Bring more money home, pay down your debts and stuff like that. Like I say, I always tell people do it for 3 to 4 months and pay down your debts. It's very expensive. It's very good to do this at the beginning of the year. And the reason is because you're expecting a tax refund anyway. So if you merge that tax refund with your tax exempt, being able to take that and pay down your debts. I would, if I was looking to change my job, then what I would do, I would prorate my utilities, my phone bill, my rent. I would try to pay those up anywhere from 6 months to a year. And that way, if I decide I need to leave my job to start a new job or start a new business and stuff, at least I know my bills are paid, okay? So that gives you more leverage when you do that, all right? Now, there's another interest-free loan, but it's through a card hack, okay? And so that card hack is I always tell you about Home Depot. See, here's the thing about it. With Home Depot, if you spend at least $150 or more, they don't charge you any interest for 6 months. So what you do, you go to Home Depot, you grab some toiletries, okay? You grab a few toiletries like paper towels, dish detergent, and stuff like that. And then you have a couple Visa gift cards, so it look like a purchase, okay? And then, like I said, long as it's over $150, then what ends up happening is that's a transaction and you're not paying any interest on it, right? For 6 months. So that's a very good hack, especially a lot of people, they have a Home Depot card, but they don't know what to do with it. So that's the reason why I tell you guys, there are some very easy strategies and loans and stuff. And if you have any question about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description, schedule a one-on-one consultation. Oh, there's one other. I didn't tell you the third loan. So the third loan is through your life insurance, okay? So if you have a whole life insurance, okay, if you borrow against that life insurance and don't pay it back, they're not going to sue you for it. They don't sue you for that, all right? So that's also an option for you as well. All right. So I hope this video helps you. If you have any question about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.